What's up, guys? How y'all doing? I have returned for another prediction video, and this time the University of Hawaii men's basketball team is home for 2 games this week. And of course, I also want to make another announcement. softball will begin their season on February 8th. Unfortunately, I will not be attending that game because that also ties in with the UC San Diego game, which is at 7 p.m., and the game starts at 6, I believe, on Thursday. So I won't be at softball then, but I will be at softball for Friday and Sunday. And I will include the opponents in my recap video for UC San Diego. And yeah. So anyway, guys, just remember, subscribe. That helps the algorithm, helps me keep my monetization status. So let's get started. I'm going to put up my banner now. We play UCSD first on February 8th, and that's Black History Month. That's a Black History celebration. And the University of Hawaii has had their share of African-American athletes, one of which is actually on the Spectrum broadcast, and that's Artie Wilson, realtor, who was part of the Fabulous Five from the 70s and 80s. And that's my dad's time period, and that's Artie Wilson with guys like Bob Nash, John Pennebaker. I'm trying to recall all these guys. Al Davis and Dwight Holiday, I believe. Those are the ones that I know off the top of my head. Because it was Artie Wilson, Bob Nash, Al Davis, Dwight Holiday, I believe, and John Pennebaker. I believe those are the Fabulous Five. And Pennebaker was the point guard back at the University of Hawaii. And those were the good days. Unfortunately, they didn't really do well on the road. But the last few times, the University of Hawaii has done well on the road. But I'm not sure how they're going to do this time. They've only won 2 road games so far. And but I sure hope we can turn things around. But if I recall back to the UC San Diego game, they were not at their finest. They actually committed more turnovers than made field goals in the first half. And although they cleaned it up in the second half, they had 14 in the first half, 14 turnovers, I'm talking about. They cleaned it up to 6 in the second half, but still, 20 turnovers is a lot. And I'm almost certain that that's not going to happen again against UC San Diego. is going to have to hit the ground running with their starts, and they're going to have to come in and play with a purpose and play for themselves, like Juan Munoz talked about. And when you play for yourself, you can help your game grow. You can do a lot of good for and some other guys are for the rest of the team, and some guys can kind of feed off your energy. And but the guy that's been hot as of late is Bernardo da Silva. He's leading the team on field goal percentage. Unfortunately, da Silva has not been that great at the free throw line as of late. But obviously, Bernardo has seen increased playing time with the injury to Moore Sec. And, of course, Moore out for the season. But I'll tell you this, with Coach Aron Ganot kind of trying whatever he is to find the ultimate solution so this team can turn a corner. Something's telling me that we may see guys like Logan Robeson and Matias Svetozarevich get some time on the court. You know, kind of like what I saw from Cody Williams and to a point Morsek as well after Juan Munoz went down with the Achilles injury. And if you're willing to kind of go through all of the guys on the bench, do it. It'll give them time It'll give them time to flourish and get better at the game themselves. And if that means going up against them, and if that means more playing time for the rest of the bench against teams like UCSD and UC Davis, so be it. But of course, UCSD, we were perfect up until this past road trip where we ended up falling to them, which is why I'm putting UH as 2-point underdogs. And, but hey, I like to be proven wrong in a positive way. And against UC Irvine, I had UH as 9-point underdogs, and they ended up losing by 25, which was a pretty terrible thing. But still, I'm not giving up on this team until this season is over. Okay? But UC Davis, we've had some good luck against them. Last season, we won the home matchup by 7 or 8, I believe. And we had a pretty sketchy first half with 13 turnovers committed, but we cleaned it up to committing only 2 in the second half. In fact, going through the first 13 minutes or so without a turnover. And I'll tell you this, I was actually encouraged myself from what I saw on the road trip, because at Cal State Fullerton, UH jumped out to a 20-point lead in the first half, almost coughed it up because Fullerton cut it down to 9 at one point. But still, the fact that UH was still able to pull out a 20-point lead in the first half without the services of Morse is a sign that this team is starting to find some answers to getting back to where they once were during non-conference play, and showing that that was the team that I saw during non-conference play. But unfortunately, Irvine just kind of put a stop to that. And so 2-point underdogs against UC Davis, or excuse me, UC San Diego. And I'm putting UH as 2-point favorites against UC Davis. Basically because we've had some good luck against them. We've lost only 2 times against them in the past 3 or 4 years. But still, UC Davis, they're a team you can't take lightly as well. They've got a hell of a backcourt in T.Y. Johnson and Elijah Pepper. And Elijah Pepper, that's a guy that is certainly on a high, because he just cracked 2,000 points as a UC Davis Aggie. But they're not the only guys there. They had Ezra Mannion. He transferred to Vanderbilt last season. They've also got other guys like Nico Rochak, Sione Lose, and Ade Adebayo. But they also have to be on the lookout for Francisco Bora as well. I believe Bora is their point guard. I'm not quite sure. And also Leo DeBrule, and he's a 3-point shooter, and he's a good shooter as well. And but still, no matter how you slice it, the two things that these two teams share in common for the University of Hawaii, the start is going to be a matter of life and death. Because considering that Morsek is out for the season, UH has got to hit the ground running and be able to control their own destiny. Because if they can grab control, they can come through with an emphatic win like they did against Cal State Fullerton at Titan Gym. And so that's why I like to be proven wrong, at least against UC San Diego. And I think they got a point to prove against San Diego, because I thought they were going to win that one, and unfortunately it did not work out. Because UCSD has got Jerron Brooks. They even got former UH Hilo Vulcan, Aniwa Tate Jones. He transferred there. And they also have former UC Irvine player Emmanuel Shimanga. And those are guys that you can't take lightly. So we'll see what happens. And that's all for now. And remember, go Bows. And guys, remember, subscribe. That's how the algorithm judges you. I want to be able to keep my monetization status, and the only way you can do that is with your help. So hit the subscribe button. I appreciate it. Keeps me doing these videos. So anyway, guys, go Bows. Thanks for watching. And remember, subscribe. I'll see you all soon for recap videos for both UC Davis and UC San Diego, and also recaps for UH softball. Malama Pono, everyone.